AR12 is equal to minus 4 by 5x plus 3 by 5y. So that here IDL, it is given IDL is equal to 2 pi AZ. It is along Z directions. So that only this part it is considered here, because there will not be any x component and the y component here in ideal. In ideal component there will not be any x or the y components, and the so that it is only in the z direction. So that ideal cross AR1 0 0, here it is 2 pi, and here in the unit vector from the point 1 to point 2, in the unit vector in the direction from point 1 to point 2, x component is present, y component is present. So that minus 4 by 5 ax plus 3 by 5 ay, minus 4 by 5 3 by 5. So that here minus 6 pi by 5 ax minus 8 pi by 5 ay. That is the equation we will be getting. So dh is equal to minus 6 pi by 5 ax minus 6 pi by 5 ay 4 pi square, because here according to the equation for the differential magnetic field intensity at a point due to a current carrying conductor is IDL cross AR12 upon 4 pi R12 square. This one, it is a cross product between these two, differential current element and the unit vectors. This one, it is a cross product between these two. So that the differential magnetic field intensity is equal to minus 0.012 ax minus 0.016 minus 0.016 ay. So that dh is equal to minus into bracket of 12 ax plus 16 ay, 12 ax plus 16 ay into 10 raised to minus 3 ampere per meters. Differential magnetic field dh is equal to minus into bracket of 12 ax plus 16 ay, 12 ax plus 16 ay into 10 raised to minus 3 ampere per meters. That is the differential magnetic field intensity at a point. Now, magnetic field intensity due to a straight conductor of infinite length. An infinite length straight conductor carrying current I is placed along z-axis. Consider a infinitely long straight conductor is placed along z-axis from minus infinity to plus infinity. dl is the differential element along the length of the conductors. dl is the differential length along the length of the conductor. Then differential current element is IDL. Since this conductor is placed along z-axis from minus infinity to plus infinity, a differential length is considered along the length of the conductors having the differential length is equal to dl. Then differential current element is IDL. The point P is at a perpendicular distance r from the conductor. This point P, it is at a perpendicular distance r from the conductor, so that the r is the distance vector from the differential current element IDL to point P. The differential r is the distance vector from differential current element IDL to point P, because the point P is at a perpendicular distance r from the conductors. This point P is a perpendicular distance r from the conductors, and capital R, it is the distance vector from the differential current element to point P. Theta is the angle between the IDL and the line joining point P to the element. The theta is the angle between the IDL and the line joining point P to the element. The differential magnetic field intensity dH at point P due to IDL is, according to Biot-Savart's law, is dH is equal to IDL cross AR upon 4 pi r square. Here the distance vector is the coordinates of this point P are r, 0, 0, and the coordinates of this differential current element is 0, 0, z, so that the distance vector in the cylindrical coordinate systems. Here consider our cylindrical coordinate systems. The distance vector is r ar minus z az. The modulus of r is equal to square root of r square plus z square. Here I dl is equal to I dz az. I dl is equal to I dz az because placed along z axis. It is since this infinite conductor is placed along the z axis, so that this equation it can be written as I dz az, that ar is equal to r upon modulus of r ar minus z az upon square root of r square plus z square. dl cross ar is equal to ar a pi az is equal to 0, 0 dz, 0, 0 dz, r by square root of r square plus z square, 0 minus z upon square root of r square plus z square. So that dl cross ar is equal to the r dz upon square root of r square plus z square, because here these two, that is ar term is 0, a pi term r dz a pi, r dz a pi, this is the equation. dl cross r is equal to r dz a pi square root of r square plus z square. dh is equal to I r dz, I r dz a pi upon 4 pi r square plus z square to 1 upon square root of r square plus z square r dz. dh is equal to I r dz a pi upon 4 pi into r square plus z square whole raised to 3 by 2. Z is equal to r tan theta, dz is equal to r sec square theta d theta. So that z is equal to minus infinity, theta is equal to tan inverse of z by r is equal to infinity by r minus pi by 2. Z is equal to plus infinity is equal to theta is equal to plus pi by 2. dh is equal to I r square sec square theta d theta a pi r square plus r square tan square theta whole raised to 3 by 2. dh is equal to from the I r square sec square theta d pi a pi 4 pi r cube 1 plus tan square theta whole raised to 3 by 2. So after that simplifications, I r square sec square theta d theta a pi 4 pi r cube sec cube theta. So that the differential magnetic field intensity is equal to I upon 4 pi r d theta a pi upon sec theta. The total H due to infinite length conductor is H is equal to integral minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 I upon 4 pi r d theta sec theta a pi I upon 4 pi r integral minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 cos theta d theta a pi, or the sin theta integral minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 a pi is equal to I upon 4 pi r into bracket sin pi by 2 minus sin minus pi by 2 a pi, H is equal to I upon 2 pi r a pi. Magnetic field intensity due to a straight conductor of finite length, so that here a finite length conductor is placed along the z axis from z1 to z2. Finite length conductor is placed along z axis. The z1 and z2 are the two ends of the conductors. This is the end z1 and here this is the end z2, and here this one differential current element I dl. So that the here the angle between this, the lower end of the conductor it is alpha 1, the upper end of the conductor alpha 2, and here this is the alpha. The z1 is the distance of the differential current element I dl from the origin. I dl is equal to I dz az. The differential magnetic field dH at a point P, which is at a distance of r from the z axis, is I dl cross ar upon 4 pi r square, which is equal to I dz az cross ar upon 4 pi r square, which is equal to r ar minus z dz. Modulus of r is equal to square root of r square plus z square. Modulus of r ar minus z az upon square root of r square plus z square. dl cross ar is equal to ar a pi az 0 0 dz. r by square root of r square plus z square minus z upon square root of r square plus z square. dl cross r is equal to r dz a pi upon square root of r square z square. dh is equal to I upon 4 pi r square plus z square. r dz a pi dh is equal to ir dz a pi square plus z square whole raised to 3 by 2. Now h is equal to r tan theta dz is equal to r sec square theta d theta dh is equal to ir square d pi and dh is equal to ir square sec square theta d pi a pi 4 pi r square r cube 1 plus tan square theta whole raised to 3 by 2. This is equal to I upon 4 pi r 1 upon sec theta d theta. The total h due to finite length conductor is z1 is equal to r tan alpha 1, z2 is equal to r tan alpha 2. Alpha 1 is tan inverse of z1 by r and alpha 2 is equal to tan inverse of z2 by r, which is equal to I upon 4 pi r integral alpha 1 to alpha 2 cos theta d theta a pi. So that h is equal to I upon 4 pi r, here it is sin theta alpha 1 to alpha 2 a pi. H is equal to I upon 4 pi r sin alpha 2 minus sin alpha 1. Here the same equation will be getting. Here only thing is that here alpha 1 and alpha 2 are pi by 2. If I upon, that's why you are getting I upon 2 pi r a pi. So that here if it is the alpha 1 alpha 2, if you not know the alpha 1 and alpha 2, that is if it is infinite conductors, then it is I upon 2 pi. I upon 2 pi r. If it is infinite conductor, it is I upon 2 pi r. But instead of that one, if it is the 2 pi r, the finite conductors, it is alpha 1 upon alpha 2. Here depending upon whether the alpha 1 it is if alpha 1 is below the point p, if alpha 1 is below the point p, it is negative. If alpha 2 is above the point p, it is positive. If both are above the point p, if the both are alpha 1 and alpha 2 both are above the point p, since so that due to which the alpha 1 is also positive, alpha 2 is also positive. Depending upon that, the value of this alpha 1 alpha 2 changes. So that the if both alpha 1 and alpha 2 are below the point p, then the alpha 1 is also negative, alpha 2 is also negative. So that in that way you have to solve the equations. A current filament carrying a current of 10 ampere is in the az directions on the z axis. Find the magnetic field intensity H at a point P due to this filament if it extends from minus infinity plus infinity. Z is equal to 0 to 5 meters, Z is equal to 5 to infinity. The H due to a infinite long straight conductor, here it is the point P 1, 2, 3. Here it is the point 3. Here that is minus infinity to plus infinity, and the point P the H due to a infinite long straight conductor H I upon 2 pi r. The current filament is placed along z axis, so that r is equal to square root of x square plus y square. The distance of the point P from the filament, the distance of point P from the filament, the square root of 1 square plus 2 square is equal to root of I upon 2 pi square root of I is equal to 0.707 a pi. That is the, because here it is 1, 2, 3, here it is the placed along the z axis. That's why the distance of that point P from this infinite conductor is equal to square root of x square plus y square. That you will get 0.717 a pi. The H at point P is is equal to, here it is 3 meters and here it is 0 to finite conductors 0 to 5 meters, and here it is 3 meters, and here it is 5 meters, and the H at point P is H I upon 4 pi r sin alpha 2 minus sin alpha 1. R is equal to square root of x square plus y square is equal to square root of 5. Tan inverse of 3 by root 5, 3 by root 5, because here it is 3 meters and here it is 5 meters, and alpha 1 is equal to 53 degree. Alpha 2 is tan inverse of 2 by root 5, because the distance from this 3 to 5, the distance from this 3 to 5, it is only 2 meters, so that here it is the 2 by root 5 is 41.81. Alpha 1 is below the point P and alpha 2 is above the point P, so that the alpha 1 is negative. So 10 upon the 4.2 root 5 is 41. 41.5, 0.355 is equal to 0.52 A pi ampere per meters. Now here this it is the extending from the alpha 1, it is the extending from alpha 1, it is equal to tan inverse of 2 by tan inverse of 2 upon root 5, tan inverse of 2 upon root 5, it is equal to the conductor, it is only in this form, and alpha 1 is equal to 2 upon root 5 is equal to 41.5, and alpha 2 is equal to tan inverse of infinity. Here alpha 2 it is equal to alpha 1, it is, this is the axis, alpha 1 it is equal to tan inverse of 2 upon root 5, 41.8 degree. Alpha 2 is tan inverse infinity upon root of pi by 2, tan 4 pi sin pi by 2 minus sin 41 degree, because alpha 1 and alpha 2 both are positive, because both are above the axis. Alpha 1 and alpha 2 both are above the point P. Alpha 1 and alpha 2 are both are above the point P, so that due to which the magnetic alpha 1 is also positive and the alpha 2 is also positive. Alpha 2 is pi by 2 and alpha 1 is 41.81 degree, so that 1.0 minus 0.6 is equal to 0.355 into 0.3.117 A pi, because both are positive here. This one it is extending from 5 to infinity. This one it is extending from 5 meter to infinity. This 5 meter to infinity, that is the vectors, so that it is placed along the z axis. Here this is the point P. This is the point P. Come to C1. Now here it is at 3 meters, because the coordinates of point P, z component of point 3 is 3 meters, so that here this points. So that alpha 1 and alpha 2 both are positive. For that one you will get 117. Both the points alpha 1 and alpha 2 are above the point P, both are positive. Find the magnetic field intensity at the center O of a square of sides equal to 5 meter and carrying 10 amperes of current. Here the square of the sides placed in xy plane, the normal to the square is z directions, so that here square is placed in the xy planes and normal to that square is along z directions, so that consider AD is the one side of the square, AD is the one side of the square, so O is the center of the square. AD is the one side of the square, O is the center of the square. Alpha 1 is below the center of the square. Alpha 1 is the below the point O, center of the square O, and alpha 2 is above the center of the square, that is alpha 2 is above the center of the squares, so that alpha 1 is equal to tan inverse of 145 degree, alpha 1 is negative, and alpha 2 is tan inverse 45, alpha 2 is positive, because it is alpha 2 is above the center of the square O and alpha 1 is below the center of the square O. Now H is equal to tan inverse of I upon 4 pi r 5 degree on sin 40. R is equal to 2.5 meters, that is the R is equal to 2.5 meters. The R is equal to, that is perpendicular distance from the side of the square to the center of the squares, that is the half of the side of the squares. H is equal to I.4.2 pi is equal to 701 is equal to 0.45 A pi ampere per meters. The total H at center of the square due to 4 sides is equal to the total magnetic field intensity is equal to H into 4 is equal to 45 pi into 4 is equal to 1.8 A pi ampere per meters. The total magnetic field intensity at the center of the square is equal to 1.8.45 into 4 and 45 A pi into 4 ampere per meters. Therefore, H total is equal to 1.8 A pi ampere per meters. Now, the Ampere's circuital law. Statement: the line integral of the magnetic field intensity H around a closed path is equal to the charge enclosed by the path. The line integral of magnetic field intensity H around a closed path is equal to the charge enclosed by the path. Proof: straight conductor carrying a current I is placed along z-axis. This one, it is a straight conductor that is carrying current I is placed along the z-axis. A closed circular path with center at the origin encloses the straight conductor carrying current I. This one, it is a closed circular path. This one, it is a closed circular path with its center at the origin. Closed circular path with center at the origin. This center at the origin encloses the straight conductor. Carrying current I. Encloses the straight conductor carrying the current I, which is at a perpendicular distance r from the conductors. The differential length, which is straight conductor carrying current I. The differential length dl at point P. The differential length dl at point P, which is at a perpendicular distance r from the conductors. Here dl is a differential length or an incremental length along the path of the along the closed circular path, so that the dl is at point P, which is at a perpendicular distance r from the conductors. This is the point P, and here this one, it is the differential length, and the distance of this differential length from the conductor is r. In cylindrical coordinate systems, the differential length is dr ar plus r d pi a pi plus dz az. dl varies in the pi directions. Here this dl, it is varying only in the pi directions. Here it is in the angular directions, it is varying. So that in cylindrical coordinates, the differential length, it can be written here in these forms, and only in the pi directions dl is equal to r d pi a pi. The magnetic field intensity H due to a straight conductor of infinite length is H is equal to I upon 2 pi r a pi. H dot dl is equal to I upon 2 pi r a pi. Dot dl is r d pi a pi. H dot dl is equal to I upon 2 pi r bracket of r d pi into bracket of a pi dot a pi. H dot dl is equal to I upon 2 pi d pi. The closed integral H dot dl, closed integral I upon 2 pi d pi is equal to 0 to 2 pi I upon 2 pi. So that the closed integral H dot dl is equal to I upon 2 pi into 2 pi is equal to I. So that from the definition of the Ampere-Circuital law, the line integral of magnetic field intensity is magnetic field intensity H around a closed path is equal to the charge enclosed by the path. So that the line integral of magnetic field intensity around a closed path is equal to the current enclosed by that closed path. So that here this one, it is a statement, and here how we shall prove that the Ampere's Circuital law.